as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day.
Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King and it's a pleasure to be once again in the Marina Marbella here at the harbour. It's amazing how many people think this is private. It does look so exclusive, but everyone is so welcome. So do come in, come up the stairs and pay a visit to this fabulous restaurant that has the most amazing views you can imagine.
Let the music get to your heart. Let it set you on your way. No time to hesitate. We are all the same. So much trouble tearing us apart. Poison arrows shoot straight to your heart. We can change if we try. Just believe it's worth your time.
Hey, hey.
Unbelievably, we're coming once again to the 4th of July. And for Americans, this is a very significant date. And to join us to talk about this, we have an American in Marbella. More than one, I'm sure. John, welcome back to Marbella Now. It's lovely to see you again.
It's a pleasure to be here this morning, Nicole.
Isn't it glorious? I mean, the summer is really, really here. How are you enjoying the heat?
I love it. I love it.
Which part of the States are you from?
Originally from Ohio, but now in Florida.
So you're used to like the different weather changes, you're used to heat, but Marbella offers something very special. What is it that attracts you particularly?
Well, the weather here is just spectacular, without a doubt. I grew up in Ohio where we had 4 seasons, a very harsh winter and a very hot and humid summer. And it's a pleasure to be here in Marbella where we have a little bit more even keel temperatures. We do have a winter and we do have a summer, but they're very mild, I would say, in comparison.
So is this a place that you've chosen to retire?
Yes, yes.
And do you find that you get enough to do here to keep yourselves busy?
Oh yes, there's a lot to do here in Marbella, right.
What do you like to do? I'm sorry to be ever so nosy, but it's nice to see when people come to live in our community how you entertain yourselves.
Well, being here by the sea, you are naturally drawn to the sea and to the beach. And I had never lived by the sea before. I'd always lived inland, and now I find myself at the beach as often as I can go. I love the beach. I love to walk along the beach. I love to run along the beach. I love to just take my chair and sit and read by the beach. I have become a real adult onset beach bum. So to speak.
Well, I mean, isn't that just the privilege of life? I'm sure you deserve it. Being American, being in Marbella, it's very easy to forget who we are as a nationality because everything here is very cosmopolitan. We all mix together, the different nationalities. Do you remember 4th of July? Is this something that you like to celebrate? Is it like, did you keep the traditions from back home and celebrate them here?
Very much so. We always celebrate the 4th of July. The 4th of July is, like you said, the most significant holiday for Americans. It's our Independence Day. And it,
From us, Brits.
it traditionally starts with a parade. In the small town America where I grew up in and lived most of my life, in the morning there is a parade with marching bands and local politicians and local celebrities being driven through the parade. And that's in the morning, and then that's followed in the afternoon by a picnic or a barbecue, whether it's with family or friends. And then the day continues into the evening where there's fireworks.
Very exciting. It's lovely to see that it is a very family event that you do, because Spain's got these great traditions and parades and things like that. It's nice to see that there is this community spirit. Now, when we talk about Americans, we have this thing, oh, Americans, hamburgers and hot dogs. However, I think that the 4th of July would be one of those days that we would be right in thinking that that would be a typical American menu when you're celebrating, or does it depend on what area of the States you're from?
Oh, I think very much so. You would always find hamburgers and hot dogs on the menu, as well as ribs. And depending upon the part of the country that you're from, there may be some variation in that barbecue. But the accompaniments are baked beans and potato salad and potato chips and coleslaw and corn on the cob, and all followed by watermelon for dessert.
So watermelon would be the traditional dessert.
Yes.
And
yes.
do you plan on indulging in this in Marbella on Wednesday?
We are. We will be going to an event in Las Chapas, Elvira, that will feature American-style barbecue. And so we'll hopefully have our fill of hamburgers and hot dogs and various salads.
That's what's so nice in Marbella, because even if you're here, I know that your family is all over the place, but it's nice that in Marbella we have these community, again, events going on, so that we don't have to be alone. You can take part in all these great international festivities. There's an American club here in Marbella as well, so there's obviously quite a few Americans here. Do you tend to mix with people from back home?
We do. The American Club here in Marbella has Americans, individuals who have an interest in American culture or a connection to America, whether it's because they work there or they have relatives there, or they just have a general interest in American culture, which is very pervasive these days. And we meet twice a month. We meet for coffee, and then we have a luncheon where we get together and partake.
Well, it's nice, because otherwise you can kind of lose touch with what goes on back home. It's very easy when you're here to just become this fishbowl of Marbella and nothing else happens except what we're up to. So to become a member of the American Club, you don't have to be then necessarily American.
No, you do not. You do not. You just have to have an interest in, like I said, in American culture.
Well, that's
and in
something.
America, as
Well, how can you not? I mean, it is just such a fascinating country. Just the sheer vastness of it covers so many different cultures, temperatures, vegetation. It's like quite a unique country, and if you've never been, you should certainly go. I believe that we've got now more scheduled flights to the States than used to be. Is this helping Americans come to visit Marbella, or is this just a very seasonal thing still?
I would think it's more seasonal. The direct flights are seasonal right now, but there are flights to the United States. That, you know, there's a lot of flights to Florida for obvious reasons, that people like to go to Disney World and some of the other amusement parks that are in Florida, as well as Northern Europeans who like to escape the winter and go to Florida. So there are quite a few flights. As a matter of fact, the last time that we went back to the States, we took a very nice flight that got us to Miami in the middle of the afternoon.
Luxuries, simple pleasures. Well, John, I wish you a very happy 4th of July. It's lovely to see you again. And perhaps we'll see you up in Elvira to a little bit of celebrating the independence of the Americans from the British. Each to his own, as they say.
Well, thank you very much.
It's my pleasure.
Bye.
Hey, hey.
Free taxi 4 times a month and 25% discount on your car insurance if you're the Zero Hero.
I was ever so pleased to hear that the teatro, the wonderful dining theatre experience, will drive you home if you need to not have you drinking and driving. These are wonderful incentives which complement our Zero Hero incentive. Together with the Road Traffic Safety Foundation Linea Directa and the car insurance company Linea Directa, we're really doing a lot to try and make more awareness in our Marbella community that we are 147 different nationalities signed on the town town census, and we're all driving on the same 27-kilometre stretch of road, any which way but loose, which means we are kind of at risk, particularly if we're going out to dine and then have a drink and then get in our cars. We might be over the limit without realising it. So places like the Harbour, the Playwrights, Beckett's, the Boardwalk, the Red Chiringuito, the Kempinski Bayer Hotel, the Urban Villa, the Hard Rock Cafe, and so many more I can't think right now. Babylonia, Tibu, the Portside are becoming part of this Zero Hero project. If you go out with your friends and you're the designated driver, they're not going to charge you for your soft drinks. Why be punished for doing the right thing? If you have a business that would like to get involved with this project, please contact us, because all participating businesses will be supported not only by Me Marbella Radio and Marbella Now with our TV Marbella and the Town Hall, but also will be given extra coverage in newspapers like RTN, Euroweekly and the Marbella Rocks magazine, which have been the first to jump on board with this fabulous incentive. We are hashtag so much better together.
Hey, hey.
Free taxi 4 times a month and 25% discount on your car insurance if you're the Zero Hero.
Yeah, I'm here in Marbella, but it says here I'm in La Canada.
If you haven't mastered the lingo, don't worry. Linear Director has a free GPS geolocator service that will come and find you.
Hey, hey.
Mosquitoes are always unpleasant, particularly if you're prone for getting bit. However, I would like to tell you that there is a plague of tiger mosquitoes which have come to our coast. Now, they're normally from the other side of the ocean, but they have come here, and world is getting smaller and smaller. Now, this is actually very serious because these tiger mosquitoes carry very serious diseases like the Zika virus. So it's very important that we're up on this. The Andalusian government is so concerned that they've actually been giving out informations and warnings to the public so that we can actually also take measures to try and keep this population of tiger mosquitoes at bay. Now, in order to reproduce, these mosquitoes need stagnant water. Now, this is not just stagnant water from ponds. This can be little bits of water that collect in buckets, in children's toys, in the bottom of those flower pots when you have those little dishes. Any water that is going to be sitting still, including in our dogs' bowls, can give a base for these mosquitoes to reproduce. So in order for us to try and keep this population at bay, it's very important that we do not leave little bits of water anywhere. Make sure the children's toys on the terrace are cleaned out. You don't leave drips of water in the buckets. Make sure you change the plates underneath the plants. Make sure you change your animals' water frequently, because it is very important that we do not let these mosquitoes set up home in our environment and obviously put us all at risk. Thank you so much for taking the little bit of extra time to make sure that you're doing your bit.
Hey, hey.
Behind me you can see the people who've just come off the Fly Blue boat that goes between the Marbella Harbour and Puerto Banús. It's a great little trip. You get to see some amazing views, and what a wonderful way to travel around our city. Well, that's it for us for this evening. Thank you for joining us here at the Harbour Marbella in the Marbella Harbour. Take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Hasta mañana.
It's a brand new day.